Barak, Yahweh, Alam, Shalom, planet Earth. Welcome back to True Talk. Giving. Giving can be the most underrated thing and the most important thing. I think sometimes we take being able to give for advantage. I'm pretty sure all of us has been in a situation where we needed something, where if it was help with a bill or help with anything, can be numbers of things, but we just didn't have enough and somebody came and gave. And that was a blessing. We knew how we felt. And we felt like, man, thankfulness, and felt like we couldn't do enough to pay these people back. Because the fact that they gave to us in a time when we had need was a great blessing to us. So when we are able to give, I think sometimes we don't realize how big of a blessing we can be to other and how we can relieve people from stress and uh, just so much. People can be on the verge of breaking, having a mental breakdown. They can be on the verge of not having faith in the Most High. And you come along doing the will of the Most High, being kind and give them hope, will help them through the next day. And it's a blessing to be able to give. There's a saying that we shouldn't have our hand out when it's time to receive, but hide our hand when it's time to give. Nowadays, it's hard on everybody. But when you're able to give, there's a major benefit, not only for yourself, but to help others. I was talking to this lady, it was a while back and not too long ago, but she was telling me that she don't like giving. She said, people out here, they don't really need help. They just take advantage of you. And I have ran into that myself also, where people will have money but want to spend your money so they can be able to save their money and spend their money on whatever they please without stress. I had witnessed when I was in the streets where people would buy a whole pack of cigarettes, and then they'll go around and ask some people for cigarettes as if they didn't have a pack. And when I asked the dude, why do you do that? He looked at me like, it's obvious, so I can smoke off everybody else's cigarettes and still have mine. But the thing is, after he finished smoking up everybody else's cigarette or making like he don't have cigarettes and asking people for cigarettes, when they ask him for a cigarette, even though he got it, he act like he don't got it. The perfect example of someone having their hand out to receive, but hiding their hand when it's time to give. And especially in these last days where there's a lot of deception going on, it makes people harder to want to trust people to give. And after I had that conversation with that lady, I also seen this on YouTube. Not YouTube, but I mean Instagram. We see a brother acting like he homeless, but drive away in a nice car. I remember there was an episode speaking about people doing this and talk about how people make a lot of money by scamming people, by pretending like they're homeless. So normally people will be hesitant to give nowadays since we understand people do this. But there's a way to do everything. See, even though this is true, people do deceive, and there are people out there making like they're homeless and they're not, or making like they in need and they're truly not in need, just to scam people and get people money. And nobody wants to be made a fool out of or give their money to somebody who don't really need it. And you can actually give your money to somebody that needs it. And of course, we all need our money ourselves, or we can just keep it for ourselves. But I think Satan also, he like to blur the lines. Well, he make it for people that want to give or don't mind giving to second guess themselves and say, should we give? Or is this people really trying to scam me? But with every temptation, there's a way out. And as the saying goes, if there's a will, there's a way. And there's a way to do everything. Our Heavenly Father says that when you see somebody hungry, you feed them. When you see somebody thirsty, even if it's your enemy, you give them water to drink. If somebody is naked, you clothe them. If somebody is homeless, you give them somewhere to stay if you're able. Well, a lot of people make mistakes is they give people money instead of giving them food or giving their needs. The Heavenly Father never told us to give out money. He said to give those things that people are in need of. So next time you see somebody that's maybe hungry or homeless, instead of giving them some money, ask them what do they want to eat. Bring them something back to eat. Bring them a loaf of bread or something that may last them through the week that they can survive off of, instead of you giving them your money. Because there are some people that really do need help, but let's be honest, they might be hooked on drugs. And that's another narrative that I think is painted, that everybody that's homeless or need help is strung out on drugs and just drug addicts and just lazy and don't want to work. And that's far from the truth. That's the enemy trying to demonize people that are in need. But there are people that are homeless and in need, and a lot of them have some type of addiction. So for you to not feed in their addiction, but steady help them, instead of giving them money. Because the truth is, they might do really want the money to buy something to eat. But as soon as they get that money in their hand, then them drugs start to call them. So for you to help them out, instead of giving the money in their hands, but they can end up doing the wrong thing with it, go and buy the food yourself. Go and get them the water yourself. And if they got holes in their clothes, or you see they got a jacket or that's torn, you can go to a dollar store, get a $5 shirt or, a jacket for them if you need it. You may it'll be very dangerous to bring people in your house. So if you're able to, if it's real cold outside or if it's real hot, if you're able to buy a cheap motel room for the night, or even for the week if you have that much. But if you're able to buy a cheap motel room to put them up for a night, you can do that. There are ways you can help the homeless and poor without just you giving them your money, and put your money to good use and make sure it's going to be used to good use. So that those are the ways, even in scripture, that tell us how we can give without being taken advantage of. Okay, a person hungry, instead of giving them money, go and buy them some food. But uh, it's only when we're able to give, and you don't have to give that much. The Messiah told the story of the lady that I think she gave a penny, but it says she gave more than everybody else because she gave her last. So, just a little will go a long way if you're able, and actually, that's why our 10% is supposed to go anyway. 10% of what we have is supposed to go to the needy, to the homeless, to those that are in need. And the Most High promised that He will bless us if we do this. So this is how we get our blessings. A lot of religions and churchianity and Christianity will try to say, hey, give us your money and the Most High will bless you. But really, when you give those who are in need a helping hand, the Most High will see that and honor you and bless you. And there's many scriptures that prove that and say that. But I just want to bring up one, or maybe two. This is Proverbs 19:17. And it says, he that has pity upon the poor lends to Yahweh, and that which he has given, he will pay him again. So the Most High says, whatever you give to those that are poor, He's going to give it back to you again. That when you have pity on the poor and give, it's like you giving to the Most High. And the Most High, He made the poor and the rich. And I think there was somewhere He said He created the rich expecting them to give to the poor. See, a lot of times we this society like to demonize the poor and the homeless and say, well, they're on drugs or they're just lazy and don't want to work, and don't realize that the Most High created the poor and allowed for certain people to be poor to see will you give. How will He see if you have the heart to give if you had nobody to give to? And a lot of times the people that he chose to be in those positions, they are chose because a lot of people, can just be honest, cannot be homeless. A lot of people will commit suicide. A lot of people go crazy and kill themselves. So the people that are poor and homeless, they able to deal with it. And a lot of them, even though they uh, have needs and don't have nowhere to stay, they have peace and happier more than some of the people that got somewhere to stay. So the Most High know what He doing. He created everybody for a reason. But just because that person is poor, don't mean that they want to be poor, or because they struggling. And the Most High allow for them to put that in there, for them to be in that situation. Don't mean we can judge them and say this what they get, or all these things about. I heard somebody say, the Most High is punishing them, so we shouldn't help them. Well, if the Most High punishing them, uh, ain't them being like that is punishment enough, and we should help them also. But just things that people will say and the enemy will use to try to trick us out of helping those who are in need. But truly, that's where our blessings come from. And check out John 1, 3:17. This is a big one right here. It says, but whoever has this world's goods, I mean, whenever you have a lot of money or a lot of things to give and see his brother have need and shut up his bowels of compassion for him. I mean, you don't have consideration, you don't have compassion when you see your brother in need. It says, how dwells the love of Yah in him? And that's the question. How can you say you love the Most High? How can you say the love of the Most High is in you when you can see people that's in need and you won't have compassion to help them? Knowing that we all created in the image of the Most High. Knowing that you treat people how you want to be treated, that could be you, that can be your sister, your brother, your child. That if you was in need, that you would want to be helped. But nevertheless, when we help people, it shows the love of the Most High in us. And not only that, but this is how we receive our blessings. A lot of times we struggle in life because we have stuff and we don't consider that the Most High bless us with certain things so we can help others. We just say, well, the Most High blessed me with more money so I can be able to buy more stuff, so I can be able to enjoy life more. So we end up spending more money, getting more in debt, and later on end up struggling and not happy. But a lot of times the Most High bless us with things so we can be able to bless others with it. And if you have and you able to give, and sometimes we look at it and we say, well, I don't have much. Well, you don't have to have much to be able to give. Must I said 10%. 10% what? Out of $100, that's $10. Out of 200, that's $20. Out of $500, that's $50. So 10% is not that much. And this, what our 10% is supposed to go for, to helping those that are in need. You ain't got to do it every day or all the time. It's just when you see somebody in need, hopefully you be moved with compassion if you have the love of the Most High in you and you give. And by giving, the Most High will replay you and you will be blessed. So that's all, family. Just wanted to encourage us all to have a heart to give. Don't let this wicked world and people being deceitful discourage you from giving. Uh, this is what the Most High requires of us, and this is how we receive our blessings. by giving. Till next time, Shalom.